Welcome to Icon Manager's Virtual View demonstration, automation and reporting for VMware, Citrix Xen Server, and Windows Server Hyper-V. Icon Manager's Virtual View has the capability to manage both storage and virtual operating system environments. Virtual View interfaces directly with VMware's vSphere product, Windows Server Hyper-V, and Citrix Xen Server. Today's demonstration will focus on VMware's vSphere environment. This section will show creating a VM volume using RDM.
And it has a name of Acme. Now, to do a raw device map is a very similar process. The only difference is we have to set a couple of extra parameters because a raw device map is a LUN on the SAN. So when we select Advanced and we go to Raw Device Map and we select Next, we have to pick the SAN parameters. In this case, we have to pick the data pack type, the RAID level, and we have to select which ICE we want it on. Now I can pick any type of data pack that I have in my system, whether it be balanced capacity or performance, or I can let the system automatically determine. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and let the system automatically determine what type of data pack it should put this on. I can also select my RAID level, and the available RAID levels are RAID 1 or RAID 5. In this case, RAID 5 is fine, so we're just going to leave it. I can also select which ICE I want this on, which I can leave it as automatic, or if I do manual, I can browse and pick the ICE that I want to store this on. In this case, we're also going to let Virtual View determine where it wants to put it. I select Next. Now, because this is a physical LUN on the SAN, I have to give it the fiber channel ports on the back of the physical host that I want it associated with for the LUN to actually be seen up to the VM. In this case, I'm going to select both ports on the back of my physical host because I want this to be multipathed for redundancy. You can see here that when I selected the ports, it automatically determined what the next available LUN number was, as well as I have to pick a data store because a raw device map requires a VMDK file that actually becomes a pointer to that LUN. In this case, I want it stored on the same data store as the VM, so I'm going to pick Shared VM1. Select Next, and now I have to select the VMware compatibility mode. The compatibility mode is used for determining how this particular LUN is going to be accessed. Physical mode means it will be exactly as if this server was a physical host, meaning that this LUN could be attached to both a physical host and a virtual machine at the same time in the case of doing a Microsoft cluster where you have one physical node and one virtual node. Virtual means that it can only be attached or used by devices directly in the VMware environment because it takes advantage of VMware snapshotting and other advanced VMware features. In this case, we're going to leave it as physical. If I select Advanced, again, I have to pick the virtual device node. When I select Next, it's going to give me a summary of what it's going to go do, and it's actually going to go and do the work when I select Finish. And what it's going to do here is it's actually going to create a LUN on the SAN. It's then going to tell the ESX server to rescan its host ports so that it sees this LUN, and then it's going to present the LUN up to the virtual machine as a raw device map, and then again go through the Windows VDS components to actually initialize, partition, format, and assign a drive letter to that disk so that the virtual machine can actually use it. And you can see here that it's now going through the Windows initialization, but you can see here that we actually show a different icon for raw device map. We show the blue disk icon. That allows us to determine that it's a physical LUN on the SAN as opposed to a file that resides in a data store. And again, once Windows has completed the work, we will get the update and we will put the information out there as to which drive letter it is, the name, as we can see here, as well as the amount of free space that's available on that LUN.